Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host Zoe with my co-host on the other side, Cantu. How was your weekend? What were the plans like? What were the vibes like?
Good, good. It was a pretty good weekend. Took our son to his first kid's birthday party. He's about to have his in a few weeks. His first birthday in a few weeks too. So we're planning on that. But overall, pretty good weekend. Just finished playing ball. Tired, but and first day of school's tomorrow. So pretty good week.
Got a busy week ahead of you though with
Oh yeah.
school.
Still got a lesson plan after this. Gotta make sure everything's good. Yeah.
Shout out to all the teachers out there too. Also, how's your swing now? Baseball. I mean, what? This is your third time I think playing this week. Not this week,
Yeah.
but
This month.
from every
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I have to make some adjustments, just like Lorenzo's new podcast. Go check that out. Baseball's on the game about adjustments. Had to adjust there, but pretty good. How about your weekend?
Went to go look at Luke Combs. That one,
Nice,
a
nice.
nice freaking concert. Dude puts on a show. He even brought out some of the Texan players. I think
I
CJ
saw
Stroud
that.
was there.
Yeah,
He shotgun a beer with Cal McNair.
yeah.
You
I did.
can't tell me there's a bunch of owners out there. I'm even calling out MLB, all the other leagues owners.
Maybe Mark Cuban. Mark
Are you
Cuban
think?
do.
Well, yeah, I think maybe. But come on, man. In football, at least Cal McNair right now is just taking over as one of the best in the league in NFL.
Absolutely, I agree with you there. I mean, Texas won two against the Steelers, looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Go
football
check out.
season's almost here.
Yeah, go check out Bring On the Blitz, Arskina podcast for John McClane interview going on. I
Yep.
think they just wrapped that up, or they're still going on right now. So go check that out too.
Yep. All the Texans content as well as NFL, like Angel had said, they have John McClain, one of the best writers, um, at least in the Houston area, but he's covered, I think, a bunch of
Yeah,
other areas in the state of Texas. So go check them out. But
yeah.
episode 204, Astros take Boston's Red Sox. Love the title, Angel, as cursing
Appreciate it.
Mr. Kent too for that. But the Astros, my God, what a series this was. It was a very important series for them as well because they needed to take this series away to stay in the hunt for the division, as well as keep their head above water. Because Seattle right now, I think Seattle's actually winning against
Yeah,
New
they're
York.
winning 4-1 in the bottom of the sixth, and they're throwing right now. They got two runners on with nobody out. So
Bryce Miller and Logan Gilbert did not give up an earned run. The same thing goes for Luis Castillo. They had like 24 straight scoreless innings. I think from starting pitching wise, or not even starting pitching, from the whole game because both those games the Mets were shut out. So very important
yeah,
series for the Astros in this one.
yeah. I mean, that Seattle pitching staff is a real deal. I'm not gonna tell you that. And like, I'm sure they're a little salty from last year. Seattle was throwing the wild card, throwing the division, and end up eliminating from both. So I mean, they're playing with fire. That offense actually, I think they just had a double steal now because no outs, runners on second and third.
And these are
So
the Mariners.
Mariners, yeah, are throwing right now. Oh, actually, my bad. Bases loaded, no out. That's what it was.
There's a possible sweep over there going on in the Emerald City, but my gosh, this division is going to be just like last year, but with Texas substituting for the Mariners substituting for Texas
Yeah.
as of last year. But the record 62 and 55 of the Astros, they do still have first place um, in the AL West. They swept the Red Sox. There's no secret about that. But it is their second straight year for the Astros to go to Fenway Park and sweep them at Fenway 6 games in a row over there at America's, I think it's called America's Loving Ballpark, something like that. That they noted that for the Red Sox because I remember going last year when it happened. 5 game winning streak for the Stros as well. As they've been playing some good baseball, pitching, offense, been doing the real job. We got the topics on the side. Recap that Red Sox series. The long ball was the impressive part of the Astros lineup, top of the lineup as well. Spaghetti and the Diesel. Who's invited to the Carne Asada? Tampa Bay pitching preview, train station injury news. Justin Verlander's first rehab start. How that go? We'll talk about later on and around the horn. But Angel, before we get started, let everybody know where they can see us and follow us.
Absolutely. If you look down the clicker right there, community with me. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you miss an episode, want to hear us again, or just want to have some discussion as you're walking, like internal discussion as you're walking towards driving towards work or something, you can find us there. If you want update coverage on all things Astros, you can find that on TikTok, Instagram, X, and yeah, I mean, pretty good content when they're on the field when the Astros are here at home, and yeah, we get you the best of the best.
Yes, we do. But like I said, let's recap that Boston Red Sox series. And the Astros just outscored Boston throughout this whole 3 games. 23-10 was the run difference in this series. But one of the things that was very impressive for the Astros in this series was the long ball. 9 home runs total as a team. Jose Altuve got in the action. Alex Bregman with a pair of home runs. Yordan Alvarez, my gosh. Just name the ballpark after this guy because he's just hitting so well over there at Fenway Park. 3 home runs from him. Yiner Diaz hitting a home run onto Lansdowne Street, and Jeremy Pena and Zach DeZenzo, the rookie, getting
First
his
pitch.
first ever career home run as a big leader, and he hit it out of the ballpark. So I
Yeah, it
wonder if
was no gimme.
I wonder if they even found that baseball.
I wonder. Yeah, maybe we'll ask them when we see them when they come back.
I was like, do you still have your first career home run? But if not, I mean, what a way to introduce yourself to the Red Sox. But this series, even from the home run standpoint, just the little things. I mean, aggressive on the base paths, hitting for contact, taking advantage of that monster in left. Obviously, the Green Monster is like so tall, so you're guaranteeing an extra base hit if you hit it to the monster, and that's what they did. A lot of doubles. Jake Myers getting to the action with the triple. Like I said, with the long ball, with from the top of your order, really 1 through 5 actually got into the long ball category. If you take away John Singleton being in the 5 spot, Jeremy Pena being in the 5 spot, and they've just done an impressive job. And it's great to see that the power, especially from the big man, because you remember we had talked about maybe 2 episodes ago that he had to hit a home run in a while.
Yeah,
And my gosh, he's just terrorizing the ball at this moment.
yeah. When he gets hot, they come in bunches, and you've seen it there. With he demolished the ball in Fenway. Like I think he went over the bullpen too. I believe like
Mhm.
deep there. Yeah, like David Ortiz territory there.
Yeah, a lot of comparison too to Big Poppy as well. Um, Last 7 games for Yordan Alvarez. You're gonna love this. 11 from 24, 5 home runs, 8 RBIs, 8 walks, 2 strikeouts, batting 458 with a slugging percentage of 1.125,
Nice.
1.125. So he's starting to see the ball really well in the month of August and in his last 7 games. But if we're talking about the home runs, the power came from the top of the lineup. And the top of the lineup was swinging the ball. And this is just from this series. Jose Altuve, 4 for 13 with a home run, 2 RBIs. Alex Bregman, my gosh, he was swinging the bat really well. 7 for 12, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Yordan Alvarez, 6 for 10. That's a 600 batting average in this
Yeah,
series. A double, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. He was so close to having a 3-homer game, but he just nearly missed pesky pole in right field. But 8 home runs at Fenway Park in 15 career games. That is freaking
impressive. Yeah,
yeah, you just took the word out of my
my
mouth right
bad, my
there.
bad.
Impressive. No, there is nothing to be bad about. That is just the perfect word because it's like the Red Sox fans are going to Fenway and they're like looking at a mini Big Poppy. And people have drawn the comparison. He's even gotten the comparison early on in his career to David Ortiz because he's not afraid of the moment and he could do it in so many ways from power to contact.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't disagree with you there.
Yonder Diaz, let's finish it off. 4 for 14 with a double, a home run, 4 RBIs. If you combine 1 through 4 of the lineup, you have a 21 for 49 stat line. That is a 429 batting average.
And that was against Tanner Hawk too in that first game. I mean, there's pretty good pitchers over there.
Yeah.
Uh, James Paxton was had a record of 9-3 too. So I mean, they really put some good offense off the Boston's good pitching.
And the way the top of the lineup did that just put a lot of pressure on Boston. I mean, Tanner Hawk, like you said, he's an all-star. But after that, it was kind of bullpen games for Alex Cora. They didn't have a guy in the second game that they were going to go out to. They didn't announce it until that day of. So that prolonged into a bullpen game. And then James Paxton, like you were mentioning, he was pitching the first inning. Jordan Alvarez hit a ball to first. Dominic Smith caught it, and Paxton was going to go to cover, but then he kind of hurt himself with the right calf strain. So he came out of the first inning,
Oh, my bad. I
and
didn't see it
then
again.
yeah, and then it was just a whole bullpen game from them last two games of the series. So like we said, if the Astros can find a way to get to that bullpen, then there's going to be a way, and they're going to put a lot of damage, and then it's just going to put a lot of pressure on the other team. And sure enough, they put Dominic Smith to pitch in the last inning of that last game, which the Astros didn't even score a run though, too.
No, yeah, I mean, so like you just went over how dominant the offense was. Like, what about the pitching? I mean, because the pitching was good too.
Yeah, let's go on to pitching. Spaghetti and the Diesel. Spencer Arrighetti, have yourself a day. What a performance from the Rook. I mean, did you see that they were able to go? Obviously, that's kind of a tradition throughout every
Hmm.
baseball team that they go to the Green
The
Monster and they're
rookies,
able to sign. I think Brian King was one, Zach DeZenzo, Spencer Arrighetti, Pedro Leon. I think
yeah,
I might be missing one more. I think Sean Dubin may maybe be another guy.
I think so. I think it was Sean Dubin. Yes.
So I think that's really cool. And you're solidifying yourself right there at one of the most historical ballparks in baseball. 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts. 13 strikeouts. Oh my God. 92 pitches were thrown. 66 of them were strikes. Gave up only 2 solo home runs to Danny Jansen and not Dominic Smith, Masataka Yoshida. He just looked very comfortable on the mound. He pitched through the 6th inning for the 5th consecutive game. So that adrenaline, the confidence, everything's just working in his favor right now. This is the second time through the lineup. You know that the stat isn't really great for Spencer Arrighetti, but he made the adjustment. The confidence was rolling, like I was saying before, because he has almost like I want to say an 8 ERA when it comes to the second round or the third part of the lineup, and he just did a really good job filling himself in that start. I don't know if you saw the last strikeout. I think it was to I want to say it was Rafael Devers or Dominic Smith. And he was kind of like looking at him like, yeah, I just did that shit, kind of like
Hmm.
mentality. But the fastball, man, averaging mid to high 90s, great command of his cutter, great command of the changeup, sweeping curveball was breaking. Everything was just working in his favor in this start against the Red Sox.
Yeah, he looked good. I think this is Spencer Arrighetti that was advertised early on in the season. I mean, it takes guys. This is baseball. It takes guys different. Guys get adjusted to the league at different times. Like some rookies come in here off the gate, hitting home runs, pitching great, like Poskins, for example. But for the most traditional rookie, like it takes time to get adjusted to the big leagues, and like you're seeing Spencer Arrighetti's time now.
Yeah, he's looking like he's in control now. The confidence is up there. The pitch selection, the command is working. Everything is just working in his favor. I want to say it was like he's kind of getting close to a 3.21 ERA in his last couple starts here and there.
Yeah.
And then when we talked about with his starts too, is the offense. The production's really not there when he was pitching. I want to say the Astros put up 6 or 8 runs in that game for Spencer Arrighetti. So it was good to see the offense able to have his back in this start. Hunter Brown, the Diesel. There's not a lot of words you can say about this guy, man. He's just really picked up himself ever since the earlier part of the season. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 95 pitches were thrown, 64 of them were strikes. From looking at his performance, the fastball was just really great, really good, making hitters chase out of the zone. I know that upper part of the strike zone with his fastball. He's just been blowing the fastball right by them. He'll throw that curveball occasionally here and there. His changeup too was working. The sinker was working as well. I think the sinker was only like thrown 11 times in the start against the Red Sox. But Hunter Brown's just been hasn't really been doing a great job. And if you really think about it too, Ronel Blanco is kind of like getting just declining just for the fact that he's already pitched over so many innings. And we could talk about him too, since we're on this pitching topic. I mean, the command was a little shaky in his start. All of his runs came off of like 2 outs. I know the last run he gave up was a pickoff attempt at first, and it got away from John Singleton. But you've already seen him already surpass his innings ever pitched in his career. It was 128, and now Well, no, 125 in 2023. If you combine the AAA and his MLB stats of innings pitched, well, this year in the majors, it's already at 128 innings pitched. So you can see a little bit of decline. You can see a little bit of fatigue, but he's been really pitching well still, only allowing 2 earned runs going four innings. The walk rate was a little iffy there too. 88 pitches, I think he finished was his stat line. I got it right in front of me, but I feel like Hunter Brown's been stepping up too ever since. You could kind of see that little decreasing action of Ronel Blanco from the starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, the baseball season is a grind. 162 games. Starting pitchers make about 30 starts a year. On a good day, if they don't get on a good season, they don't get hurt. But for Ronel Blanco, I think this is just he has to battle through it. Like we've been saying, like and you mentioned, could be a little fatigue since he's inexperienced in this like going this long in a season. But I mean, he's a professional. This is why not many people do what baseball players do. That's why the Hall of Fame is so like exclusive, just because it's a grind every season. And for Ronel Blanco, it's like he just has to find it. He just has to find something that's working for him, because like his velocity's been like there's days where it's like back at his normal, and there's days that he's just like it's a little down. But I don't know, for Hunter Brown being able to change the season around, I think that'd be a good contact for your podcast, right? So like I mean, like interview there how he adjusted to that, because it's been pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been doing a really great job. Like I said, I feel like he's just taking the overload. It's like you've seen that from Ronel Blanco in the beginning of the season. He was taking care of the whole starting rotation because there were some games that Fenway wasn't pitching well. There were some games maybe Justin Verlander wasn't pitching well, as well with so many injuries happening into this rotation. And now you can see that teams are kind of figuring out Ronel Blanco, how to get to him, get him out of his comfort zone. And for Ronel too, like you're saying, it's kind of an inexperienced thing he's ever seen was how many innings he's been able to pitch. But the thing about the guy, he's a grinder. Like you're saying, it's a grind of 162 games in an MLB season. For a pitcher, of course, you're having so many days off because of the amount of pitches you throw. But he's just done a really fantastic job. And same goes for Hunter Brown. Both those guys, and including Spencer Arrighetti now in the second half of the season, they've all changed. Framber Valdez, the way he's been pitching now in this second half, the starting pitching is looking like one of the best in Major League Baseball. I'm not saying they are the best, but I mean it's getting there that they're starting to get it together. Of course, you're going to get Justin Verlander coming back soon. We'll talk about his rehab start here in a minute. Um, and then after that, you've heard Dana Brown said it's going to go to a 6-man rotation. I think that's just going to help each and
Yeah.
every pitcher get a little bit more rest, mentally preparing, getting his scoring reports going, and going out there for their starts.
Yeah, and it'll be crucial to get Justin Verlander back, and we'll talk about that more. A little bit about his rehab start, but once he comes back, if he comes back, it's going to be a great lift off their shoulders for that rotation, just to get an extra off day for that, and possibly like extra two off days, depending on just off days for the Astros on Mondays or Thursdays. If they don't play one of those games, they get an additional off day as well, so that's good for the arm as well.
Definitely.
Thing is,
To end, real,
go ahead, go
well,
ahead, go ahead.
no, I was going to just say to end the recap. Did you have anything before? Because I
No,
didn't know if you're going to go Carne Asada or not.
yeah, I was going to go to Carne Asada, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Just to end the recap real quick of the Red Sox series, you got to give credit to the Astros bullpen and their starters. That Boston Red Sox team is a really, really great, sneaky team offensively. Jared Duran, All-Star Game MVP. Oyer Brady, the way he's been swinging the bat, the superstar
Yeah,
over there, and Raffy Devers, they've done a really good job
Rafaela
holding
too.
them. Yeah, Cedon Rafaela. Oh my God, the guy plays immaculate defense. If you haven't seen them defensive highlights, he goes out there and does. Please go check it out. But the way they were able to hold them on with the runners in scoring position, I know Raffy Devers had a bunch of opportunities. Willier Bray did too. Taylor Scott coming in, at the top of my head, Taylor Scott coming in and getting that one out to get out of that jam. Credit to the bullpen, of course. Um, who gave up some runs? Brian Abreu gave up some runs. I mean, it happens. They're not always going to be perfect, especially the back end. So it is what it is. But I just had to give a shout out right there. And like I said, too, from the bullpen standpoint, Josh Hader, my gosh, he's been really good. I ain't going to lie to you. When Raffy Devers hit that ball, I was like, oh, shit. And I might be gone. And then it was a leadoff double. I'm like, oh, man, it could end right here. But Josh Hader just going out there, feeling himself, being able to have the confidence and just blew by them hitters, getting pop ups, flyouts, and striking out to end the day. 25 consecutive saves. That is the all single season franchise record. So
Absolutely.
congrats to Mr. Hater.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this was an important shift for the Red Sox. So I'm sure they're punching themselves in the gut too because they're 3 games back from the last wild card spot against the Royals, and they just stay like that because they couldn't get any wins against Houston. But yeah, when when Houston sweeps or the Astros win a series, the Carne Asada is always jam packed. And let's start with the big man, Jordan Alvarez. Like Lorenzo was saying, 6 for 10, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs. He has an RBI in 5 straight games, and he loves hitting it in Fenway Park. Like Lorenzo mentioned earlier, the 8 home runs, but let's take a little deep more of his success in Fenway Park. So I have to do the math on this because the stats weren't updated, but he's hitting 482 in 15 career games at Fenway Park. That's 27 hits for 56 at bats. That's including the postseason as well,
Wow.
with 8 home runs and 20 RBIs. Now the slugging percentage and the OPS is before it's calculated before this 2 for 2 game, so it just went up. But he has a 963 slugging percentage and a 1.517 OPS, so in the thousands, like 1,500 basically. And his batting average, slugging, and OPS at Fenway are tops among active players that have a minimum of 40 at bats.
You're even talking about Aaron Judge, who plays over there just because of the rivalry and the division that they're in. That's
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
yeah, and Aaron just played there way more than 15 games there, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that's pretty phenomenal there. You know, who's also invited, and you kind of did a good sum up of how he's been. Spencer Arrighetti. I'm just gonna run you through the stats real quick because I did see some people joined in before Lorenzo got there. But he pitched 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 13 strikeouts. He's tallied over 25 strikeouts over his last 2 starts combined, and his 13 strikeout game are the most by an Astro in 2024. And he's also tied for the second highest total ever by an Astros rookie. Do you want to guess who is the only Astros pitcher in front of him?
And it's a rookie stat.
In rookie stat, yes.
Hmm. Uh, I'll say Roy Oswald.
Rosebud, I mean, that's a good guess, but he's only second to J.R. Richard when
Oh,
he
Richard.
when he struck out 15 in his major league debut against the San Francisco Giants. Do you know which San Francisco Giant he struck out 3 times that game?
This year?
No, no, no. So J.R. Richard, when he made that
Oh,
set that record, do you know which Giant he struck out 3 times that year?
shit, man, you're talking about 70s?
Yeah, 71.
Oh, man, McCovey,
Struck out Willie Mays 3 times that game.
Willie Mays. Wow.
Willie Mays, yes.
R.I.P. to one of the best.
Yeah, but Eric Getty's not done there setting records. Eric Getty becomes one of 6 Astros ever to tally 12 plus strikeouts in back-to-back starts, joining Christian Javier, Garrett Cole, J.R. Richard, Tom Griffin, and Don Wilson.
It's an impressive name to put yourself among. Very
Absolutely,
impressive.
there's some Astros Hall of Famers there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go with Alex Bregman too. Like you said, 7 for 12. 7 for 12. I think that's another guy who loves playing against the Red Sox. Like just including the postseason too. I think that's like he shines in Boston. He has 6 runs, 4 RBIs, 2 home runs, 3 walks. He's batting 260. Brought it up. In this road stand, he's batting 444 with 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and has 201 career home runs between the regular and postseason. So just up that number.
Every time I think of Alex Bregman hitting at Fenway Park, I go back and think of that 2017 home run against Chris Sale. I think it was game 3 of the ALDS, I want to say. But man, he's just bumping up, man. That contract extension, possibly. I know a lot of Astro fans probably want to see him extended as an Astro for life, just like Jose Altuve, but we won't know until the offseason how that's gonna go. But as of right now, for Alex Bregman, if it's gonna be called the quote unquote last dance for him, man, he's really doing a really great job in the second half.
Let me ask you a question. If the season ended today, would Alex Bregman make over 200,000? Like
200 million?
200,000. 200 million, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, I think he does.
Think so?
I think so. The way he's been hitting the ball as of late right now too, his defense at third base, still a fairly young player, goes out and plays almost every game too. He's like an iron horse.
He's
Yeah, I
30.
pay it. He's 30.
30.
Well, that's not that old, but you get like that. You're looking maybe at a 5 to 6 year, contract for Alex, maybe
Mhm.
7. But yeah, I think if I'm a general manager, I'm looking into Alex Bregman and paying him around 200. Because I remember I even said the way he's been playing in the beginning of the season, or even before the season had even started, we're talking about 200 million, yes or no. And I had said no, but the way he's been doing right now, the way he's brought his leadership too, I think that's kind of hidden from all the success that he's done on the field. Yeah, I honestly think he's over about 200.
Okay. I don't know opinion, but yeah.
You?
I mean, I don't know. It's tough for me, just because I mean he's shown his worst, but I mean he's also shown his best this season. Like like he's shown that there is some, that bat could be off at times, but he, like you said, like recently he's shown that his bat still got it right. So the defense is there, but for a 30-year-old third baseman, I'll go one. I think the highest I'll offer is 100, is 150. That's it. Not 200 million.
150. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
Shocked.
gotta pay. You gotta pay some other
I
guys
ain't
too.
gonna lie. I'm shocked.
But moving on, Josh Hader, like you said, broke the record. I'll go into more into that, but his numbers for one innings pitched this series with one hit. It was almost a it was almost a game tying hit, but with one strike and he got the save. So he converted, like Lorenzo said, his 25th consecutive save opportunity to set a club record in his first year with the Astros, which is pretty remarkable
Really?
there. The record was previously held by Brad Lidge, who had 24 straight saves in 2005. So that 2005 World Series Astros team. And just to give you a little bit more of how great Josh Hader has been in Hader's last 25 save chances, he has a 150 ERA, 4 earned runs, and 24 innings pitched.
I remember the beginning of the season, he was getting so much banter, dude.
Yeah,
We weren't giving him banter, but we were talking about like kind of what he's been dealing with and getting hit hard and all that other stuff. But he's been looking really great so far. I think he's already given up so many home runs in his career this season with the Astros. Though I want to say that's the only
yeah.
thing
Let
I can
me
remember.
bring the numbers real quick.
But other than
But
that, I mean, he's really adjusted. He's really done a great job. Looking like he's already comfortable where he's at now too. Same goes for Ryan Presley, but Ryan Presley's been a little shaky here in the last
yeah,
couple appearances. But Josh Hader, the way he's been pitching in the back end of that bullpen, trying to get that save down, I mean, he's just done a good job.
so I have the numbers here. So the most home runs he's allowed is actually 15. He did that back in 2019 with the Milwaukee Brewers, but
Wow,
since 2020, this is the most home runs he has allowed this season. That's 9. Yeah,
it's 9. Okay.
yeah. But lastly, I'm gonna shout out Jeremy Pena as well. 6 for 9. What they basically the only 3 at bats didn't record a hit. That's pretty phenomenal there. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. He's back to batting 273, and also a special shout out to Zach DeZenzo for hitting his first major league home run. And I mean, like I said earlier, it wasn't a gimme; it was a shot over the big monster.
Yeah. Going back to Alex Bregman's home run, shout out to Ari Alexander. I think he had mentioned that his home run has been the furthest of his career at 441. The last one was 440. So the one he hit at Boston, 441, is now his career longest home run.
Nice. I guess it's that dad strength right there.
It is that dad strength. The Brady Bum was in action over here at the Green Monster, as well as Jeremy Pena being a kid from Rhode Island, as Todd Callis had said on the broadcast. Being able to do that over there, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's close to town, Rhode Island from Boston, being in that northeast part of the region. I'm pretty sure he had family up there too. during that time. But yeah, great series overall for the Astros. A lot of people at the Carne Asada too, bringing a lot of stuff, the potluck and all that other type of food. But we're gonna get with that pitching preview with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays,
Again,
uh, 59-58, 4-6 in the last 10 games, fourth in the American League East, 5.5 games back from that last wild card spot. Just to mention too, they're getting they got approved for a stadium. I want to say.
did they?
I think so. I think they got approved to build a new stadium, which I've heard a lot of like non great opinions about the Trop, but seeing the pictures of the renovations that they're gonna make and that they're gonna build over there at Tampa Bay, it looks really cool and very exciting to see. Especially keeping that if they build a water tank over there with the Stingrays in center field, I think that'd be freaking
They
bad.
need to.
They have
They
to.
need to.
I mean, that's their staple right there. But of course, the last time the Rays came
So,
into Houston,
I have a question real quick.
go ahead.
Should they stick to the Rays or change back to the Devil Rays?
Nah, I like the Rays.
Right, the Rays too.
Let's
They
keep it simple.
they actually had a losing record as the Devil Rays, and then all of a sudden they changed to the Rays and started winning ball games.
But is there even such a thing as a devil ray? There's a stingray,
Oh yeah, I
but
don't
not a
know.
devil ray.
Let me look it up right now.
What makes the ray a devil? It's like saying God ray. It makes no sense to.
Oh yeah, it's the giant devil ray. Is a large marine vertebrate that can reach up to 5.2 meters. So yeah,
So there is such a thing as called as a devil ray.
yeah.
The fuck. Okay, well, I like rays. I just like it's just one word, just one word.
Yeah.
You don't need to say
I
devil.
got you.
If that's the case, you might as well just call it stingrays. Tampa Bay Stingrays.
It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right at all.
Oh, but devil rays does. You want the devil in the ray, I guess you want to put in there. But Monday's contest, 550. Framber Valdez is on the mound for the Astros, 11-5 record with a 3.46 ERA. He'll be going against Taj Bradley, 6-6 with a 3.07 ERA. Framber Valdez, Angel's second pick of this part of the season, has done a really great job after the All-Star break. Last start against the Rangers, of course, he was just 1 out away, 82 thirds, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts from getting his second career no-hitter, the 19th in Nationals history, but just didn't happen. But he's really done really well pitching in this last couple games. He's pitched to the 6th inning in 5 of his last 6 starts. Framber is 6-0 in his last 8 starts with a 2.81 ERA, only giving up 16 earned runs in those last 8 starts. The Astros are 8-0 in that span.
Do you think the trend continues?
I honestly think they do. It's a good team, but honestly, when you look on paper and when you look at their lineup, they don't have their lineup's not really strong.
Yeah, they traded Randy Rosarena, Isaac Paredes, and I mean a bunch of good players there. But I mean, even without them, and I mean they took to 2 out of 3 against the Astros just a few weeks ago. So I mean, they're still a good team. That pitching, like pay attention to this pitching preview because that pitching is phenomenal over there in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. And speaking of the player that's going to be pitching on that day, Taj Bradley, last start against the Cardinals, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Has given up 9 earned runs in his last 2 starts. That guy, he's going to have a bright future, I think. He's one of those young starters. I mean, some of these starters that I'm about to go through right now, Shane Boss is going to be the other guy. Their future over there in Tampa, as a rotation wise, is looking bright. And Taj Bradley being one of those guys. Yeah, 9 earned runs in his last 2 starts, but at the same time, too, the kid still has some great stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens there. But Tuesday's matchup, 5:50 start time. Yusei Kikuchi for the Astros. I'm not going to play the song, so be aware. 5-9 record, 4.62 ERA versus Shane Boss, like I was mentioning, 0-1 with a 4.30 ERA. So you're seeing both pitchers are going against each other the second time around. Probably adjustments are going to be made. Scouting reports are going to look at. Film's going to be looked at. So there's going to be different schemes for different players. And Yusei Kikuchi's been really phenomenal for the Astros. Last start against the Rangers, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. His last start and his first start as an Astro, he did really well. And it was against the Tampa Bay Rays, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. Kikuchi and the Rays know each other just for the fact that Yusei pitched over there in Toronto. That's the American League East team, so it's a divisional opponent that they've seen quite among each other. 20 strikeouts combined in his last two starts with the Astros, generating 38 swing and misses in both starts as well. So you're seeing a lot of the swing and misses. You're seeing the fastball, the changeup even coming into play now, curveball as well, slider. Kikuchi does have a lot of great movement on his pitches, and I'm just curious to see if it just continues again with the Rays this game.
Yeah, this is a very interesting matchup for me. Just like you said, Yusei Kikuchi has the most experience against the Tampa Bay Rays, so that means the Rays hitters have seen Kikuchi stuff pretty often over the past few years. Now, in this last start, like you said, like his first start against Houston, it was against Tampa Bay, but that was a new game plan. That was a new, they were letting change up more, new like the way they caught pitches at certain times. That was new. Now, I'm curious to see how Tampa Bay adjusts to that. So do they stick to what worked? Do they kind of change it up a little bit? It'd be pretty good. I think this would be a pretty good chess game from both the pitcher and the hitters.
I think this is gonna be a pitcher's duel. I would say.
You think so?
I think it was a pitcher's duel the last outing.
Yeah.
Shane Boss, real quick. Last start versus Houston, 5 in the third, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. It actually was a duel, a pitcher's duel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to remember because I think in that series against the Rays at Minute Maid Park, the offense just wasn't there. I mean, there were a lot of low scoring games between among, well, not really. The Rays, I think, in game 2 had kind of taken over, but for the Astros, more than anything, they couldn't put no runs on the board. They couldn't bring runners in scoring position in. So interested to see what they did. But Bass's last start was against the St. Louis Cardinals, 4 in the third, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Remember, he's just coming back from injury. So I'm not saying they're going to put a pitch count on him, but I think this is going to be his 3rd or 4th, possibly more starts this season. Shane
Bass. I just had his numbers.
He just came back from Tommy John surgery. If you haven't listened to the pitching preview episode, I think it was the Pirates episode. We did a pitching preview for Tampa Bay. I went deep into detail with Shane Bass. I went with the same thing with Zach Littell. So be aware, I'm not going to do the same thing going off of here on the pitching preview. Just go ahead and look it up on the other episode.
Yeah, that was this would be Shane Bass's 7th start this season.
This is going to be a 7th start.
Yeah.
So I was right. Hold up. Oh, excuse me, man. Sorry about that. But Wednesday's matchup, 550. These games too, man. 550. Like,
I expect 650 over there.
And it'll be 650 in the East Coast, but like 550. Like I expect 610, 710, 310. Like you expect those times, but a 550, I've never thought of having a game time for a baseball game. But that is the East Coast. 550 start time. Ronel Blanco, 9.6 record with a 3.02 ERA. He'll be going against Zach Littell, 5-8 with a 4.11 ERA. Ronel Blanco, that last start against Boston, like I was saying, command was a little iffy. Did give up a lot of runs with 2 outs in his display. Last start, like I said, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. A lot of 3-2 counts too. Just wasn't being able to finish it off. Last start against the Tampa Bay Rays. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Blanco, like I had mentioned before, if you didn't listen earlier in the episode, has officially surpassed the amount of innings he's already pitched this year, 2023. Last year, it was combining AAA stats with the Sugarland Space Cowboys and with the Astros. He pitched 125. He is now over that threshold with 128. So I'm very interested to see how this start's going to be for him. Of course, I'm not looking at 4. I'm not looking at 6 or 7 innings that he's going to pitch. He could, but the fact that you already seen he's already gone over that threshold of innings pitch in his career. See what he could do in this matchup against the Rays.
Yeah, I mean, this would be an important pitching performance for Ronel Blanco. Like, I mean, he didn't pitch his best against Boston, and it'd be at the Tropicana Field, a pretty pitcher-friendly park because it is so pretty. Like the ball tends to not travel as far, so it'd be a pretty important outing to bounce back for him.
Yeah, and then the other guy, he's on the other side. Last start versus the Baltimore Orioles, Zach Littell, 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. His last start versus Houston, I mean, it was pretty dominant, I would say. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. I mean, the dude just pitched effectively against the Astros lineup, and I'm curious to see if the Astros do make an adjustment in this next time around, seeing Zach Little.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a pitching duel last time for for both teams, and Rays really had the Astros number last series, so it's time to turn tables for them.
Yep, Tony on the chat. Let's get out revenge and even the series against the Rays. Series should scare you with his 203 batting average. And then lastly, given an update, I guess you could say, for that Mets and Mariners game, Stearns, meaning David Stearns, the GM for the Mets, he said he's useless. Wouldn't blame David
Oh man, when I
Stearns.
give you a store like well, let me give you a score update. I think that's what he's saying. That
I mean, I don't even have the score in front of me, but I'm guessing it's like 7-0, 7-1, 8-2. What? Tell me.
12-1.
Okay.
Yeah,
Seattle, I see you.
yeah. Their bats are finally waking up.
Yep, getting the additions of Justin Turner and Randy Arozarena helped out a lot for them. And not just that, Julio Rodriguez just returned from the IL today.
Nice.
So it could be a different story for Seattle going into this last stretch of baseball. But like every series that we said, this is going to be a very important series, especially knowing now the Mariners are starting to hit the ball really well as of late, as well as their starting pitching. Like I said, their starting pitchers are just going to continue to keep them in games and live to fight another day. Just like that game against Detroit. I don't know if you saw that one with the ball that just got through in right field.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Astros are going to have to very, very, very find a way to get the series and head back to Houston with a win.
Yeah, and I mean the Astros may not be like I'm sorry, the Rays may not be like a playoff team right now, but they pitch like a playoff team, and it's gonna be like an important series for the Astros, just because this is the type of pitching they will be seeing in the playoffs. This is the time pitching you're gonna see from the Mariners one more time. And they need to be able to take advantage of good pitching.
Yep, most definitely. But we'll have to see. This is what their second time going against a American League East team.
I think so. And then they're going against
Red Sox, and then Tampa.
No, they faced the Yankees too already. No.
Yeah, that was in the beginning of the season.
Okay.
The Orioles are going to be coming. They're going to be going to Baltimore later on too in the season. I want to say in this month.
And they face and then they face the Red Sox again in Fenway Park next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so they got to find a way to continue taking care of these American League foes, because there's some good teams. Honestly, Rays are going to try to ruin your playoff plans, and they're going to try to find a way too, because they're 5.5 games back of that last wild card spot. So great teams, honestly, though, for the Astros to face, getting closer to October if they make the postseason.
Absolutely. But, if we're going to have hopes for October, we're going to need some of these injured guys back. And let's start with Kyle Tucker. This is per Matt Kawhi does great work with the Houston Chronicle. Kyle Tucker will meet the Astros in Tampa. Joe Spot thinks Tucker is getting close to returning to running the bases. So, I mean, the fact that he's going to Tampa, I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to be playing in that Tampa game, but just to get a more closer look of what's going on, I think it's a good time for Kyle Tucker.
I think they're just going to run the bases over there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably stop by over there at Plant High School where he's from. He's from Tampa Bay too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, probably going back home too.
Yep.
And then another guy that's close to come back is Justin Verlander. He pitched his first rehab start Saturday night with AAA struggling. I heard there's a lot of people in that game. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, earned run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 52 pitches, 36 strikes. Now, I always tell you when it's an ugly number down in AAA, don't pay attention to the numbers. But when it's a good outing, you do want to pay attention to the numbers, because that's pretty good.
So now you want to pay attention to the numbers.
Now, because I mean, that's showing what he's working on, what he's mechanically wise, getting back. It worked, right? I mean, it's it's just gotta keep remembering that muscle memory, getting back to everything, and he should be fine. This is what Joe's about to say on Sunday about Justin Verlander. That the Astros are waiting to hear from Justin on how he feels this morning, but Verlander reported his rehab start yesterday went well, and the team is hopeful he'll need one more. But it's all about how JB feels, is what Joe Espada said. I mean, I think so. I think just one more. If there's something off, maybe an additional one, but I don't see it going to 3. I would say 2, and he's back to the big league team.
Yep, totally agree. I think just one more start. Then, like I said before in the episode, you're going to see a 6-man rotation. Guys are going to get an extra day off between their starts. So, yeah, hopefully everything goes well in his second rehab start for him to head back to Houston.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Luis Garcia still not throwing. I know they actually haven't announced it yet, but I guess like last time, I don't think he's pitching this season. I know Lorenzo says he will get back maybe
I
before
said
the season.
September. I
Yeah,
said
before the
September.
season ends, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not looking too good for Luis Garcia. Then, but Kendall Graveman, however, on Saturday, Kendall Graveman threw from the mound for the first time since his shoulder surgery. Graveman threw 10 pitches in the bullpen at Fenway, and it said it went well. So, I mean, pretty good sign there. Again, that's another guy that, I don't know, if everything goes great, he might sneak into the playoffs, like if the Astros do make it, but could be most likely for next season.
I think he'd be a great addition for this year, actually. Like
I
I
mean, he
said,
would.
like I said the last episode, I think some of the pitchers need help in that middle relief role, in the bullpen.
Yeah. And then let's move on to round of horn. Is that it? Is that
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, wow. 46 minutes already? Yeah. We're speeding through this one.
Hey, this is gonna be our third straight. I want to say under an hour, maybe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look at that, making progress over here.
Yeah. But let's move on to round the horn. And Andrew McCutchen, I mean,
The
could be a future Hall of Famer. We don't know yet. I'll ask Lorenzo right now. But he homers twice against the Dodgers, and according to Sarah Langs, McCutchen joins Willie Stargell, who since the age of 37 had 6 multiple home runs, so he was 40, and Roberto Clemente as the oldest Pirate players to homer in multiple games. I mean, imagine that list: Willie Stargell, Roberto Clemente, and Andrew McCutchen.
I know he's a Pirates Hall of Famer. I don't know yet on Cooperstown though.
Yeah,
Hell of a player though. Hell of a player.
let me give you his numbers real quick.
For this season or just career wise?
Career wise. So he has a 49.3 WAR, 2,132 hits, 313 home runs, 274 career batting average at the moment, 1,079 RBIs, OPS plus of 127, OPS of 830. What do you think?
I just don't see it. I don't.
I agree with you there.
Like I said, I mean the guy's a hell of a player, like one of the best in the game, even in the Pirates too. But maybe if he got 3,000 hits, that's an automatic. I feel like when you get 3,000 hits, you're automatically in, even though you don't have the strengths of some of the numbers like compared to other Hall of Famers. But yeah, I don't think Kutch is a Pirates Hall of Famer. Yes, but
however, he does have an MVP, 5-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger. Even with that,
yeah, you can have one MVP, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm just like trying to,
you're just trying to help him boost his resume to get into the Hall.
But I mean, I agree with you. I don't think he will. But by all means, he will be a Pirates Hall of Fame for sure. That's a no doubter right there.
Oh yes.
And then this past Saturday, yesterday, the San Francisco Giants celebrated their 10th year anniversary of their 2014 World Series. Remember that dynasty where they won it on all the even years starting back, it was 2010, 2012, 2014.
Yep.
Over 35 players and coaches showed up, and Madison Bumgarner threw the ceremonial first pitch of the game, and Buster Posey caught the pitch. So setting up that battery over there at the dynamic duel.
Did you see Mad Bum throw that ball, man? He looks like
he still got it from the mound. Yeah, he threw it from the mound. Well, he was pitching last year, wasn't he, with the Diamondbacks?
Maybe I want to say actually.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was pitching last year too. So I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, 2023 was his last year.
Shit. Okay, Hall of Famer then. Right here, we can say that too.
All right.
Hall of Famer.
He has 15 seasons under his belt. Well, 4-time All-Star, 3 World Series MVP, NCLS MVP, 134 wins, 124 losses, 3.47 ERA. I don't see it. 2,070 strikeouts.
Yeah. Even though he was a World Series MVP and an ALCS MVP and all them type of accolades, I just don't see him as a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, never won a Cy Young. I think that hurts him as well. But never led the league in wins. The most wins he's had was 18. So I mean, I don't know.
Nope,
Yeah.
not Hall of Famer. Great player,
What about Buster?
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
There's no even you don't even need to put like any like statistics, data, all that type of shit don't matter. He's a freaking Hall of Famer. One of the best catchers in Major League Baseball.
I mean, Andrew McCutchen has more hits than him, more home runs, a
But
higher
Buster
WAR.
Posey is a catcher. Like
I know. Mm.
anyway, Tony Tucker going home to Tampa. Yep, going back to his hometown in Tampa Bay. But that is the end of our show. Episode 204 is in the books. Like Angel had mentioned earlier in the show, continue to follow us on our social media platforms that we have on the ticker below: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. If you're on Twitter right now, make sure you hop onto YouTube, go and get that follow, hit that like button, subscribe to us, all them type of things. We really truly appreciate it, especially on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you know that's where we get our podcast platforms, leave us a rate, leave us a review, throw some stars up there, give us some comments, feedback, anything like that. That really helps us out on how we're covering the team and all that type of stuff. But Angel, you got anything before we sign off?
No, just thank you for sticking to us, hearing us, discuss baseball topics and talk about the Astros. And we appreciate all the support. Peace.
Definitely. Hopefully everybody has a great day. If you're a teacher, have a great first day. I know tomorrow you're going to be teaching. Uh, third year actually, right? Third or fourth?
It's my 5th year.
Fifth year.
You know,
Shout out to all the teachers, like I had said in the beginning of the show. Good luck on the school year. But until then, we'll recap that Devil Rays series. Apparently, it's Devil Rays, not Stingrays. And then give you that preview of the Chicago White Sox coming to Houston. Till then, we'll talk to y'all later.
peace.